This is extremely disappointing. All season long, they were coming back from all kinds of adversity. Not only adversity within a game, they would come back from huge deficits, but they would be coming back from injury, and one injury after another. And how ironic that one of the best, well, the best point guard in New York Knickerbocker history this side of Clyde Frazier. I mean, Mr. Frazier won 2 championships, and whoever forgets with the Game 7 against Hollywood with the 36 points and 19 assists. But the bottom line is Brunson, a true superstar, had to lead this game apparently on some kind of, I didn't see it, and I got the TV on, but I didn't see the play where he fractured his left hand and was gone for the rest of the game, and so were the Knickerbockers gone for the rest of the game. 130 to 109, the final. So, it was Halliburton, it was Siakam, it was O'Connell, that little pest. That little punk already was just weaving his way right down the lane and getting reverse layups and layups and and making some nice passes. So Indiana goes and will take on the Boston Celtics, and Boston's going to take care of them. They are the best team. I didn't think if the Knickerbockers took on Boston that they would beat the Celtics, to be honest with you. While I was home talking to Robin, the other half, the hawker from Hackensack, the bottom line is I was telling her I don't think the Knickerbockers could be able to beat Boston, but you never know. Just too many injuries, and that's not an excuse. It's an explanation. I mean, the Knickerbockers, and again, the ironic thing here is with Brunson, only fitting that their best player in the most important game of this season, he would get hurt. Who hasn't gotten hurt? And now Knickerbocker fans are terribly disappointed, and that's all of us, let's face it already. There's nothing like a Game 7, and they were looking for a little bit of redemption, a little bit of revenge with because of 95, the last Game 7 at the Garden when they lost. And you don't forget, although you want to, the Patrick Ewing finger roll. In 94, when you were watching the Knickerbockers in the finals against Houston with O.J. Simpson, that murderer, on the right side with the white Bronco, and the Knickerbockers on the left. Olajuwon outplayed Ewing. But in 94, to get to that championship series with the Rockets, you did have the Knickerbockers beating Indiana. But that was then, this is now. And now, in one word, it sucks. All right, let's go back to the phones. Craig is calling from Old Bridge, New Jersey. And Craig, you're on the fan.
How's it going today, my friend?
Good, Craig.
At the end of the day, listen, Knicks fans, you can blame it on injuries. When you let a team shoot 70% from the field and 60% from three-point range, and you don't get offensive rebounds, you're not going to win that game. You could say injuries. You could say, at the end of the day, the only 2 people that showed up to play was DiVincenzo, and
Burks.
Yeah.
It would have been worse. They were down by 22 in the first half. It would have been worse had Burks off the bench scoring 14 points in 8 minutes.
It would have been at least a 45-point loss. I mean, at the end of the day, injuries, and if the dog didn't stop to eat, he would have caught the cat. Yeah. I mean, you're talking hypotheticals. I mean, listen, injuries is a part of sports. The fact is, Thibodeau, you could say all you want, he's a great coach. He got out-coached. That's what it boils down to.
Well, you're right.
Game 6, Brunson was healthy. They should have lost by over 40 points.
Well,
they dropped the ball.
Well,
he dropped the ball.
Yeah. Well, they did, and you are right. There was 79% shooting for Indiana in the first half. And they did have a 22-23, it was 22, I believe, at one point, and led by 15. And halftime, they only missed about 7 or 8 shots in the first half. They had their way. So defensively, not just from the perimeter, but defensively inside as well. And Hart wasn't getting his Hart was playing, and here's a guy who doesn't miss. Last time he missed a minute playing basketball, I think he was in grade school. But Anunoby was out there, Hart was out there, but they weren't 100%. And then Jalen Brunson has to leave the game, and so that was it. Joe is calling from Staten Island, and Joe, you're on the fan. What's going on?
Steve Summers, what's up, buddy?
Well, Joe, wait a minute, it's you.
Yes, and is that you I'm talking to?
No, it's somebody else. No.
Okay, first of all, Steve, I'm a first-time caller.
Oh, no, not again.
Not again. How many times have I tried calling, Steve?
Well, today I think it's 1,200. You have the WFAN record for calling the most times. In one day, I think it's 1,200.
Yeah, that's how I'm keeping you guys in business.
How is your family, Joe? Everybody doing okay?
Everybody's doing good. How's everybody doing with you guys?
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's doing good. The wife and everything.
Yes, everybody. Yes,
good.
Yep,
it was a disappointing loss. They're all hurt. It's very frustrating, but listen, at least we got the Rangers right now going. And I tell you, when that night they were down 3-1. I didn't think they were going to pull it out, Steve. And I didn't want a Game 7, that's for sure.
Yes. Well, listen, the Rangers are going to have. It would have been better. And thank you, Joe, for calling already. He eventually does get through, and we're glad he does. Bottom line, the Rangers would have had arguably on paper, not necessarily on the ice, you never know, if they were going to be taking on Boston. Florida matches up very, very well. The numbers, the metrics, the analytics, it matches up pretty even, give or take a little bit here and there, but it's going to be a tough series for the New York Rangers. Let's go to John. He is calling from Manhattan. John, what's going on?
Hey, Steve, how you doing? Long time no speak.
Yes, that's well,
we speak all the time.
Yes.
So I figured today I'm going to talk to you about what I think is something that should happen more in sports. Yesterday I went to the Yankee game with my son, who I think you've met, and before the game, Giancarlo Stanton probably spent 10 minutes signing autographs for the fans.
Okay.
And I sent you the video. He signed Jared's hat. And it really kills me that today's athletes not refuse, but just don't do this enough. And I was not a Stanton fan until yesterday, and now he's not Dave Kingman in my book. And Todd Frazier did this once for Jared too, and the players really should do this more often, and it's a shame that they don't.
Well, you're absolutely right. And Stanton also is alive and well offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a simple gesture that these guys could do. They make so much money, and my son's 13. It's so easy for them to do it, and yet it's a rarity, and it shouldn't be. And it's a shame because it takes 5 minutes out of their day.
Yeah.
And now Stanton has a fan for life, and it's just something I think they need to do more in sports. It's just not done enough, and I know they can't do it because of the union, but mandate, they don't have to do it every game.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Oh, no. I totally agree with you, and you're right. You're spot on, of course. And I know, as an Icelander fan, I know that you're happy for the New York Rangers.
Well, I'm only happy for the Rangers because the super in my building gets to take my son's Lizer if they win, which I'm hoping.